What would you do if you found out the reason you got possessed was because of the wig you borrowed from your best friend? What if the only way to break free from the evil spirit was for your friend to go into the dangerous evil forest and ask the spirit to let you go? The Evil Wig, Part 1. Uju and Amaka had known each other since they were little. They did everything together. But lately, Uju noticed that Amaka was acting strangely. She seemed quiet, often staring at people, and sometimes she talked to herself. Sometimes her voice sounded different. Uju did not think much about it. She thought probably Amaka might be going through something. One day, Uju asked Amaka if she would borrow her one of her wigs for her upcoming birthday photo shoot. Amaka hesitated at first, but eventually handed over a beautiful long wig. "I wore it once," Amaka said, "but I think it will look better on you." Excited, Uju did not think much of it. She decided to wear the wig for her birthday shoot the next week. On the day of the photo shoot, Uju felt happy. She put on the wig and admired herself in the mirror. She looked great, but something felt unusual. As the photo shoot started, strange things began to happen. The light in the studio started going off and on. Uju heard faint whispers around her, though nobody was there. The Evil Wig, Part 2. Later that day, Uju began hearing voices in her head, voices that were not her own. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw shadows moving around her room. She was terrified, but she don't know what to do. The next day, Uju met Amaka and told her about the strange things happening. Amaka's eyes darkened, but her voice looked so cold. "It is because of the wig," she said. Uju was confused. "What do you mean? Didn't the wig belong to you?" Amaka smiled, but she was afraid. She began to open up to Uju. "I am possessed, Uju," she whispered. "And now the spirits have left me. The spirit is with you now." Ada's heart raced. She ripped up the wig and threw it on the ground. "You say what? You are possessed? How? Where? And how come?" But it was too late. The evil spirits have already moved from Amaka to Uju. Do you think Amaka made a mistake by giving Uju her wig despite knowing the fact that she was possessed? Join me for episode 3 and please share your thoughts. Thank you. Uju and Amaka went to a house of a well-known spiritual healer, Mama Nkechi. The small house was filled with the smell of burning herbs. Mama Nkechi sat before them, her eyes sharp and knowing. After listening to Uju's story about the strange wig and the possession, Mama Nkechi told them the spirit that now controls Uju is ancient and dangerous. It is tied to the cursed wig and would not leave Uju anytime soon. Uju looked at Amaka. Fear filled her eyes. "How can we stop this?" she asked, her voice trembling. Mama Nkechi paused, then said, "There is only one way. Amaka, you must go into the evil forest. It is a test to your friendship. The spirit came from there, and only the forest holds the leaves that can break its hold. But the journey is dangerous. You must have to spend 7 days and nights in the forest with no food nor water. If you survive, you will find the sacred leaves that can free Uju." Amaka froze. She had heard of the evil forest. No one returned from there unchanged. She felt pity for her friend. She knew this was the only way to save her. Do you think Amaka would risk her life just to save Uju? Find out in episode 4. The Evil Wig, Part 4. The next morning, Amaka set off for the evil forest. Determined but terrified, as she entered, the tree closed in around her, and the air grew cold. Shadows moved around the trees, and strange whispers filled her ears. But Amaka held on, remembering her purpose, saving Uju. After 7 long days, she wandered through the forest without water nor food. Exhausted and weak, she finally found the sacred leaves on the seventh day. When Amaka returned to the village, she was barely able to stand, but she had the leaves in hand. Mama Nkechi guided her through the rituals, boiling the leaves and preparing a portion for Uju. Uju's body shook, and for a moment it seemed like the spirit could not leave. Suddenly, Uju started shaking, and the spirit immediately left her body. Uju woke up. She was still weak, but she now felt free. She thanked Amaka for saving her. Moral lesson: be contented with whatever you have. Avoid borrowing items like wigs, clothes, shoe, or anything else from others. Appreciate and manage what you own.